Final update, at my daughter's graduation party, she announced, my stepdad bought me a car. My real dad never did anything. I smiled and left. The next morning, her college fund was empty, and the gift car got repossessed. My ex-wife has been calling nonstop. Part 2. You're being ridiculous, Sarah said. She's 18. She said something thoughtless in excitement. Sarah. Emma didn't say those things in excitement. She planned them. She looked right at me and told 50 people that I'd never done anything for her, that Derek was the father I never was. So now Derek gets to be her father in every way that counts. The phone went quiet for a few seconds. What about her college fund? Sarah asked, her voice smaller now. What about it? She's counting on that money for college expenses not covered by the scholarship. And Derek needs to provide it. He's her father now, remember? Sarah hung up on me. The call started coming in waves after that. Derek called me that evening and he was angry. What did you tell the bank? He demanded. The truth, I said. That Emma has a new father now and that father is responsible for her finances. I never said I was replacing you as her father. He said, you didn't have to say it. You just had to let Emma say it while you stood there smiling and accepting all the credit. Look, I can't afford that car payment long term, he said. I was hoping Emma would get a job and take it over. Then you shouldn't have co-signed for something you couldn't afford. What about the college fund? He asked. She needs that money. That's my money that I was planning to give to Emma. But Emma made it clear she doesn't think I've ever done anything for her. So why would I give her money? This is insane, Derek said. You're punishing a kid for being grateful to her stepdad. I'm not punishing anyone, I said. I'm just letting you be the father Emma says she always wanted. You wanted the credit. Now you get the responsibility. Derek hung up on me. Emma called me the next day, crying. Dad, why did you take my college money? She asked between sobs. Emma, you're 18 years old. You stood up in front of everyone and told them that Derek was your real father, that he was the one who invested in your future, that I'd never done anything for you. But I didn't mean it like that. She said, how did you mean it, Emma? Because you looked right at me when you said those things. You weren't talking to Derek. You weren't talking to your mom. You were talking to me. You wanted to make sure I heard every word. I was just excited about the car, she said. The car that got repossessed because Derek couldn't actually afford it. Emma was quiet. Emma, do you understand what happened? Derek made a grand gesture with money he didn't have, using my financial stability as backing for your loan, and then let you humiliate me in front of everyone. And now that there are real consequences, he can't step up. I'm sorry, she said. I didn't mean to hurt you. Emma, I've been hurt before. This isn't about my feelings. This is about you making a choice. You chose Derek as your father. Now you get to live with that choice. But what about college? She asked. What about it? Derek will figure it out. He's your father now. She hung up on me. Over the next week, things got interesting. Emma's friends started posting on social media about how unfair it all was, how I was a terrible father for abandoning my daughter. But my cousin Jake, who'd been at the party, posted the real story about how Emma had planned those words, how she'd looked right at me when she said them. Sarah called me Friday night. Emma's working double shifts at the restaurant where she got a summer job. She said she's trying to save money for college expenses. Good for her, I said. Sounds like she's learning responsibility. Derek says he can help with some of the costs, Sarah said. How much can he help with? I asked. He's thinking maybe he can cover her textbooks and supplies. So, the man who is going to invest in her future can cover maybe $2,000 in expenses. He's doing his best, Sarah said. Sarah, I put away over $90,000 for Emma's future. Derek can maybe manage textbooks. Do you see the difference? She made a mistake, Sarah said. And now she's learning that mistakes have consequences. Derek called me Saturday and his tone was completely different, less angry, more desperate. Look, he said, maybe we can work something out. Emma's really struggling with this college money situation. Derek, you told everyone at that party that you were the one investing in Emma's future. You bought her a car to prove it. So, invest in her future. I can't come up with $90,000. He said, then maybe you shouldn't have convinced Emma that you were better than her real father. I never said I was better than you. He said, you didn't have to say it. You just had to let Emma say it while you stood there accepting the praise. Come on, man. Don't make Emma suffer for something that got out of hand. I'm not making Emma suffer, I said. I'm holding her accountable for her choices. She chose you as her father. Now you get to be her father. He hung up. Emma showed up at my house the following Sunday. She looked exhausted, like she'd been working nonstop and not sleeping well. Dad, can we talk? She asked. Sure, I said. Come in. We sat in my living room and she started crying. I know I messed up, she said. I know what I said was wrong. Emma, I'm not angry with you, I said. I'm disappointed, but I'm not angry. Then why won't you help me with college? Because you made a choice, I said. You chose Derek as your father. You told everyone that I'd never done anything for you. You can't have it both ways, Emma. You can't publicly reject me as your father and then privately expect me to keep paying for your life. But I need help, she said. And Derek needs to provide it. He can't afford it, she said quietly. Emma, let me ask you something. How much do you think I've spent on you over the years? I don't know, she said. Between child support, insurance, your phone, school expenses, activities, and the college fund, it's probably close to $200,000 over 18 years. Derek bought you a car he couldn't afford and let it get repossessed. Do you see the difference? Emma was quiet for a long time. I really messed up, didn't I? She said finally. Yes, you did. Is there any way to fix this? Emma, you didn't just hurt my feelings. You publicly humiliated me in front of family, friends, and neighbors. You told everyone that I'd never done anything for you. Do you have any idea how that felt? I'm sorry, she said. I know you are. But sorry doesn't undo what happened. Sorry doesn't change the fact that you let Derek manipulate you into turning against me. So, what happens now? She asked. Now you figure out how to pay for college without my help. You wanted Derek to be your father, so Derek gets to handle your expenses. But he can't do what you did. She said, then maybe you should have thought about that before you decided I wasn't good enough to be your father. Emma left after that. She didn't argue or make a scene. She just left, looking defeated. It's been 3 weeks now, and the situation has evolved. Emma's working full-time at the restaurant and has applied for additional student loans to cover her living expenses. She's also applied for work-study programs at college to help with costs. Derek, meanwhile, has been conspicuously absent from the whole college funding conversation. Turns out his ability to invest in Emma's future was limited to making grand gestures he couldn't actually afford. Sarah calls me every few days, usually to guilt me about Emma's situation. Yesterday, she tried a different approach. Emma's learned her lesson. She said she knows she was wrong. Isn't that enough, Sarah? This isn't about teaching Emma a lesson. This is about the fact that Emma made a choice. She chose Derek as her father figure. Now Derek gets to figure out how to support her. But Derek can't provide what you can, she said. Exactly, I said. And maybe Emma should have considered that before she publicly rejected me. The truth is I do feel bad about Emma's situation. But I also recognize that she's 18 years old and made an adult decision to humiliate me publicly. Now she gets to live with the adult consequences of that decision. Emma wanted Derek to be her father, so Derek can figure out how to pay for her college. I'm done being the financial safety net for someone who thinks I never did anything for them. Thank you for listening to the story until the end. Write your thoughts about it in the comments and don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video. I've got $91,000 that I was planning to give to someone who appreciated me. Now I'm thinking about that fishing boat I always wanted. Or maybe I'll just invest it and retire a little earlier. Either way, Emma made her choice at that graduation party. Now she gets to live with it.